Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be checking out Wesstreen by developer Tom van den Boogaard. He's a developer that I've been getting more and more fond of, makes a series of just really wild and quirky games, and this one is quite interesting all in and of itself. It's a Western shooter where basically one shot kills, and you get some Matrix-style bullet dodging action going on, and I think there's some very minor survival elements. It's very fast-paced, rather brutally violent, and also very minimalistic. Kind of looks a little bit like an Atari game with a little bit more in the way of flourishes. So why don't we give it a click and start it off and see how we do. So here's a little man. Kind of reminds me somewhat of Super Amazing Wagon Adventure. And I'm dead. That's game. So some roving marauders or bandits of some kind will just show up completely out of nowhere and not only kill you, but like turn you into mulch and then continue to shoot at your corpse out of vengeance. So let's start that over, and we'll see if we can maybe do a little bit better. So we're going to hit spacebar as soon as we see an enemy combatant, and then we're going to spam bullets. This is the way that I've found to be successful with this. I've only played this for about 5 minutes, but I was able to figure out a couple of things. One of them is right-click over puddles, and you can actually replenish that top right meter of yours, which happens to be your, like your stamina, your endurance meter, essentially water meter. And I'm super dead. I got a score of 3. I was actually able to kill a few dudes that time and pick up their blinking gold pieces. Why don't we start over? Great ambience in this game, by the way. Not only just for the moving little dust bits in the air, there's also some just whistling sounds happening off in the distance. You'll hear a hawk screech occasionally, and the horses that go by and all of that good stuff. The one thing that totally took me off guard was I was expecting when I started playing this that it was going to be like, oh, you're a Western type dude, you're a cowboy, you have a 6-shooter, and when you run out of bullets, you're going to have to reload and it's going to take a while. The thing that got me is I didn't realize actually it kind of rewards you for spamming bullets, because when the enemies show up on screen, you're actually able to shoot right through their bullets, and actually kind of allows it to work sort of like a shield. Thing is, you have to have very good reaction time, or they're going to shoot onto the screen far faster than you have ability to react to that, or have a way around dealing with that. Also, I believe we can ride... Oh, we can ride the horse, and that makes us super, super fast. We can stomp all of the trees in our way. I'm not sure why we need to really be on the horse, but we can get far. And I'm kind of wondering also what the point of money is in this particular game. This is sort of like a way to avoid dealing with dudes, maybe, because they can't quite catch up to me. Perhaps there's like a longer-term plan for this game, and maybe the horse will eventually be able to take us someplace. For now, though, it seems largely decorative. Just suck some water up off the ground like a proper cowboy, and wait for some enemy combatants here so we can shoot them and take their money. You do actually run out of bullets after your 10th fire when you're in bullet time, or I guess either way. But it doesn't seem to detract very often. I was expecting, you know, like if we were limited to 6 shots, well, you're gonna have to snipe these guys one at a time, make sure that your shots count. It kind of appears to me more like you're actually using like a sawed-off shotgun, because when I fire, you can see it actually splits into 2 fragments of bullet, which is very beneficial for the sake of staying alive. However, for, you know, Western accuracy, well, I know they used plenty of sawed-off shotguns back then, too, but it definitely takes you a little bit out of the survival, I'm a cowboy mentality. Puts you more into, like, I'm also a roving bandit or something like that. And if you run out of ammo while you're firing in bullet time mode, I guess you can just kind of pop out and back in very quickly, and it seems to replenish your bullets quite fast. I think my best score was something like 25 or so, and that happened as soon as I realized that my best defense was to spam bullets as much as possible, because, you know, one shot, got creamed on that one. One shot, it will kill them, but chances are they'll probably shoot at the same time, and it'll deflect your bullet. Oh man, they just shot that horse by accident. I must have done something really, really horrendous and heinous for them to have all ganged up to shoot at my corpse like this. Anyway, it's just a really fun little addictive mini-game. It's not like it's a super deep, compelling experience, but what's here is fun enough to keep me coming back for a bunch of plays, just to see if I can improve on my high score. And there's actually an option to sign in to Game Jolt, if you so choose, to actually upload your score to the leaderboard. And can we lasso this? Yeah, alright, I guess I could use that to kind of get out of town. I could also shoot the horse if I wanted to, but it's just kind of like unnecessarily violent, and I don't like to do that. It actually does some pretty awful stuff. It sort of reminds me a little bit of like Project Overkill or Loaded for the PS1, if anybody remembers those, where the enemies like splatter apart when you shoot them, which I guess if you shot somebody from pretty close proximity with a sawed-off shotgun, maybe that is kind of what would happen to them. I don't want to know at all what happens when that happens, but, you know, I've played a lot of video games. I guess it's come up a few times. One thing that I've noticed I've done a couple of times by accident is after the run ends, I've had a tendency to hit spacebar instead of click to restart, just because I've become sort of sensitized into believing that spacebar is like a progression thing, since you're using that to slow down time. Probably would have worked just as well to have it on right click, but then I guess you're at odds if you want to get on a horse or want to drink from a puddle, unless it was like super context sensitive, in which case might actually end up getting you killed if you're trying to drink from a puddle or ride a horse and then a dude runs up on you. You're not really going to have time to switch or move out of the proximity, because literally you have like about 1 second from seeing an enemy most of the time from when they start firing on you. It's an interesting proposition. Oh wow, it looks like all the plants even sort of move sideways to give you a feeling of motion as you're running along in the wild world here. I really wish there was like a saloon or some kind of crazy thing I could run into out in this wilderness that maybe I could spend this money on. I don't know what I would use it on, maybe getting better fire or like a longer health capacity or something like that. Probably just better guns would be where I would think we would end up with things. Or maybe just go completely off the rails with the whole thing and make it be that our character ends up with like a bazooka or something. Or, you know, you splatter enemies with even more gore or something like that. I don't know. It seems like that could be a fun proposition. And since we're going over the top with things in sort of like Super Amazing Wagon Adventure style, why not go all the way, right? Character also leaves a little trail behind him, which I guess you could use to sort of see where you came from if you were particularly interested in like retracing your steps. Not sure if it's indefinite, but it does seem like the world goes off in every direction indefinitely, so there's that as well. And there's a horse just to show up. He just broke that tree for no apparent reason. Anyway, I think that's about all I have to say on Wesstreen. It's a pretty fun little game. I recommend you go check it out for free. You can go give it a download. There's going to be a link for it right in the description of this video. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like on it. And come on back tomorrow so you can check out another new indie game. We're getting very near the 850 consecutive days of indie impressions mark now, so I am not planning on stopping. And I hope you guys are still enjoying what I'm doing here. And if you are, I really do appreciate your support. It definitely helps out, especially in the summer months where it seems like viewership tends to tank a little bit. These guys are so on point for killing me that they're shooting each other and they don't even care. They just want to make sure my corpse is properly desecrated. Anyway, that's going to do it for another day, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.